What's up guys, it's Hoon here, and today I'm going to teach you guys how to drift. So basically, drifting is very difficult as for a beginner. This is a lesson for beginners. So, what we're going to do is I'm going to buy a new car and show you guys how to tune it, what to buy for parts, stuff like that, and I'll just get you into the gist of it. So, I'm going to have a list down in the description about what the best cars are for beginners for drifting. So, let's just start with an easy drift car that's universal. I think it's great for everyone. Is a Ford Mustang. Where is it? There it is. This guy right here. It does not have a lot of oversteer, and it's pretty easy to drift for anyone, really. So let's purchase it. And you're not going to have to spend that much money, too, when you're a beginner. Like, you just need to buy a couple parts. You can leave the cars almost stock. So let's get into this. Now, let's go into the tuning shop. Alrighty, so for weight, for this guy, or any of the new beginner drift cars you want to start out with, you really don't have to go crazy with the weight reduction or anything, but I would keep it around 3,000 pounds if you can. So, I mean, 3,200 is even great for this car, it'll work. And when you're drifting, you're always going to want to use comfort hard tires. Those are the slipperiest tires, they have the less grip, and they handle really good for drifting, so... Right now, I have 434 horsepower. I could even drift like this, but I'm just gonna add a little more. So you could just end like a supercharger or something. So let's just stick at 517, maybe a little more. 549. And you're always gonna want the fully customizable LSD. That is a necessity for drifting, trust me. So, and then these are the most important ones right here. You're gonna want the fully customizable suspension, the racing clutch and flywheel, and the racing transmission. You don't use any of these tires besides the comfort softs, like I said. And then these are two crucial things you also need to get, is the hydraulic handbrake and the steering angle adapter. Doesn't matter about this stuff. This is all preferred, it doesn't matter. So we're gonna go back. So, in car maintenance in the GT Auto, it's up to you if you want a wide body. Doesn't matter. But for me personally, I think it's very important, especially as a beginner, to put on downforce in the front and rear. So we're just going to put on something simple. It doesn't matter. Put that on there. Some downforce on the side. And that'll come in later. I'll show you guys in the video what I mean about that. Then you can customize the way it looks, and we'll go back. Alright guys, so now it's time to tune the car. So we just bought our Mustang, we got it a little more horsepower, made the weight go down a little. So on our tuning sheet, first thing we should know is to put our comfort hards on. Just make sure those are on. You can drift with comfort mediums and soft, but the car's way more snappy and less forgiving, so just start with comfort hards starting. So for your suspension, make sure it's on fully customized. So for body height, you're always going to want to have it low, but you're always going to want to have your front a little bit higher. So usually, it depends on every car, but... So this is how I'm going to set up this Mustang. You want this a little higher. So for anti-roll bars, you're going to want the fronts, you want them more, and then less in the rear. This will help with oversteer and everything. These two, you don't really have to worry if you're just starting out drifting. Later down the line, you can tweak with them like they need to go down a little, but we're not going to worry about that today. This two, natural frequency, don't worry about it. So for the camber angle, you're going to want more in the front, less in the rear. So you're going to want, usually for every car, I'm going to say for beginners is we're going to start with 2.8 in the front, and we're going to go to 0.6 in the rear. Put that on every single front engine rear wheel drive car and try that out, and I'll tell you it works so good for every car. So for toe angle, just leave that for now. You can always just put it at 0 if you don't want to mess with it. Alright, so differential gear, we're gonna go fully customized LSD. A lot of people say put 60-60 in the rear for drifting, but it's more up to preference. What I do is I put it at like 50 to 60. You'll see what I mean once we get drifted. I'll show you the difference. So, downforce, like I was saying, we want more in the front and less in the rear. So what that's gonna do is you're gonna slide more with the less downforce, obviously, on the rear, and the front. The more downforce you have, it's gonna help actually with oversteer, which is one of the biggest problems GT7 has in this physics. Is the oversteering is atrocious. It's really bad. So you don't have to crank it up all the way, but that's why I like to put downforce. A lot of people don't know about that or try it, but it actually really does help. You don't have to change anything here. If you want to make it a little heavier, it's up to you. It all depends on when you feel it and when you try it. So transmission, we're going racing, sequential. You're going to want to keep it usually under 300. So, I mean, everything looks pretty good. Make sure all the gears are even. This is honestly the stock transmission on this one is perfect. Alrighty, so this stuff looks good, and just make sure you have your steering angle adapter. That's going to help you 100%. And the racing clutch flywheel, because that will help you shift quicker. And make sure you have the handbrake torque, and this is up to preference too, but you could start at 100. Doesn't matter, but you'll get a feel the more you do it, which you'll like better. Alrighty, so we're going to go and actually drive this thing now. Alright, so when you're going to world circuits, this is your first time drifting, so I recommend you 100% we go to this track right here, Suzuka Circuit. That's because everyone does this track. It's not hard, it's pretty easy. Everyone online drifts this track. So this is like the perfect starter track I recommend you. So we're going to go to this, we're going to go to time trial, and then East Course is the easiest one. So it does not matter about the time. I mean, you're going to have less grip the darker it is. So, usually I just like to go daytime. Let's try this. Alrighty, so now we're in the track. So, main thing is you want to make sure you are not in automatic mode. You will want manual mode. It's just almost impossible to drift. Make sure your traction control is on 0. ABS, it's up to you. I usually leave it off when I'm drifting. These are all preference, does not matter. You can leave this on, and counter steering assistance strong. It will not hinder your drifting performance, so it actually makes it a little harder, and you gotta be more professional without them. So we're just gonna start this. So our car's all tuned up, everything looks good. Let's bring it on the track. Alrighty. So, when you first start drifting, you're going to want to take it slow, okay? Just get a feel for the track first. Don't even try to slide it. Just try to go around these corners. And once you're around the corner, full turning, and you hit the gas a little, your ass end will slide out. So, that's the first part. I recommend staying in higher revs, like redlining the piss out of it when you're drifting. So, because it's a little harder to control when you're just throttle controlling it. It's another thing to worry about. But as a beginner, I recommend the redlining the hell out of it. So first, I'm going to show you guys a run of how I do it, and you guys can look at my controls and everything. I can put it right here. So, if you just look at my controls, and I'll just do a run, and I'll show you guys what I do. Alright guys, so what I want you to focus on, and when I'm showing you this replay, so what I like to say is you're basically fighting your steering wheel. You're fighting the turn. So I'll show you what I mean. So just watch my front wheels when I start drifting. So I'm going back and forth, back and forth. But this is called countersteering, obviously. So let's say I'm turning in a left turn, I'm steering right, and I'm fighting it. I can show you on the screen. I'll add some arrows and stuff to make it a little easier for you guys to understand. But left turn, we're turning right. Our wheels are turned right. We're countersteering. Let's focus on this right there. That is the handbrake signal. So, show you guys what to do with that. So, when you're going full throttle and your throttle controlling a little bit, fighting that steering, you're going to hit that e-brake and it'll make a quick initiation into the next one. Next corner, excuse me. So look, watch this. Rip it, and then go. It'll all come with time. Let off, rip it, go. We're going to do it once more. There you go. Nice and easy. Alright guys, so that'll be able to sum it up for this lesson today. I hope you enjoyed it. I might not be the best teacher ever, but I tried. I just want to help you out, guys. I know it was very difficult for me in the beginning, but the more you do it, you know, it's like anything else. The more you do it, the better you get at it. So I hope you guys have a great day. We'll see ya.